Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we are doing Disney Doll's House issue 41. So let's have a look at what we've got. Right, so we have a bit of divider, 3 struts and our screen for Cinderella's room. So,
do you want to take this out?
I don't know.
I'll take it out because I think it bends and stuff, doesn't it? So. Oh, how do you even get into that? There we go.
There. Just be careful. So that is Cinderella's screen for her room. I think I'll keep it in this bit because it does seem very flimsy.
It's nice.
Stands. It's a bonus. Right, so I'm going to hand over to Kevin to do the build.
Okay, so we've got all these parts here that we've got to put on before we attach the first floor to the basement. First thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this all the way along here, and this is then going to sit in just in here. So I'm going to glue it all up first before we put it in. Okay, so I've got them glued it. So now, as you can see, it's all scraping off now. So that part goes into there, and then
it's got to come along a bit.
Yeah. And it's got to be pushed. That goes in flat. So it's there. We go. There we go. Right. As you can see, it's all sort of dripping a bit.
Clear the excess.
So just clean that off. We can actually put it in here, actually, the excess.
Yeah.
So we can just do that. Because the next point we're going to do is just there. So what we're going to do, put a bit of glue in here. Like I said before, this will pull this together. There we go.
Yep.
And like that. Next one. In there. And in there. Yep. Once again.
This one goes in these bits.
Yep. And then this one is warped a little bit, but it's a different style of wood. It's completely different from the rest of them, and this one's going to fit in this little groove just here. So just going to put a bit of glue in these bits just here, like so. And that one will go down in there, and that one in there. But it is bowing slightly. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Fits in there fine.
Still sits in.
But it is bowing. Okay, so the next part is the top part of the house. Before we put it down though, it's going to be sitting on these pins just here. I don't know if you can make them all out, but there are these raised bits. Now there's 2 at the back, none at the front. There's none at the front of the house along this front bit, but it goes around. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue all these edges, all these struts as well. We're going to put glue on all of this, and then we're going to put the house on. So we're going to do that first. Okay, so you can see where I've put the glue. I'm just going to do this a little bit just there. There we go. Now, now we've got to stick it in. Now at this point, I would just say, take your time doing this. And what I'm going to do is put it on off camera, because it's fairly simple, straightforward to follow. It just needs to sit on the top here, making sure these pins go where they're supposed to go underneath. And then we'll have a look at the end result. And there we go. It was a little bit difficult getting it in this end to click down, but the rest went really quite
easily.
smoothly. There will be a little lip obviously along the front here, but as you can see, it comes up in one piece now. So as you can see there, it sort of sits round very carefully, and then we can have a look around the back as well. So show the back here, Cast. I'm doing two hands. I want to try and keep this, but as you can see, it sits flush down as a little. I'm trying to do this and try and get it on the camera. Right, okay, so it sits flush down. You can actually see it there, and that's the back. That is the gap now for Winnie the Pooh's basement, just in there. Yeah, so as you can see, Kirsty's holding that now.
Yeah.
Hang on. Now, Kirst. There you go. So that's how big it is now.
I'm not a tiny person.
No.
I might be short, but...
But that's how big it is now. So, yeah. Also, as well, we don't touch this for the next 15, 20 issues, I think it is. I can't remember exactly what. But I know we don't touch it now for a while. Yeah, for a fair amount now.
We concentrate now on the drawer.
Yeah. But my suggestion would be to...
Take your time.
Take your time with this. There's not a rush with this. Just make sure you get it down good. We've used a combination of wood glue and super glue. We used the super glue on the pegs and wood glue obviously around the main on the struts and everything else, as you saw just before I put the top down. But it's fairly stable. It's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be.
No.
But we can have a look. We can have a look there. Look, there's Winnie the Pooh's.
That's where his basement's going to go.
That's where his basement's going to go in there. But yeah, the next couple of issues we're going to be concentrating on Winnie the Pooh's basement. Once again, all this will dry clear.
Not only that, it will be covered anyway.
Yeah, all this will be covered anyway. So even though this looks like that, it won't do when it comes to fitting stuff. Obviously, nothing like that is on the brickwork. We've kept that very clean.
Yeah.
And anyway, so let's take a look what we get with issue 42. So in issue 42, we start we get all of this, but there's not actually a lot. There's not a lot in it. There's some glue on it.
That's all right.
There's not a lot in this. So we've got the Winnie the Pooh floor for the basement there. We've also got the dessert trolley from Beauty and the Beast, and we've got Mrs. Potts and Chip, but them in their sort of cutlery form, so not with their faces or talking on it, as you can see. But you can definitely tell that that's Chip
and Mrs. Potts,
and that's Mrs. Potts there.
Although they just say teapot.
Yeah,
and
though
teapot.
it does say teapot, teacup. You can tell which but they don't have the faces on.
No,
but
maybe you could.
But I think if you're very good at drawing and you've got a very fine hand, you could do the faces on them very easily. And they could double up as extra characters.
Yeah.
Because you don't get them as characters as a character figure. So, but anyway, come with a tea trolley. I'm not too sure if you build the tea trolley, though. I've looked; it looks like it's already pre-built. The only part I do believe we build on this is this section at the end.
Yeah. So
there's not a lot to do in the next issue, though we've had a fair amount to do in this issue, as you've seen. Yeah. But anyway, it's coming along nicely. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
You, Kirst, you happy?
Yeah.
Good. Everybody's happy. Thank you for watching again. We've been the Nexus, and we'll see you at the next video.